Man, so Jonathan Majors recently hinted that he may make a return to the MCU via the multiverse.
Yeah,
They've
man.
got this whole multiverse series going on. Avengers Doomsday is coming out next year, and it's supposed to be dealing with the multiverse. And Jonathan Majors has recently hinted at that.
Hmm. Man, he deserves a second chance.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie. Everybody deserves a second chance. I wasn't there. All I did was read the news
yeah,
articles and see everything that was out on the internet and things like that. But he's a phenomenal actor.
yeah.
I've
He
enjoyed
definitely is.
him
Yeah,
and most of the projects that he's been in.
yeah,
It's only been like one project I really did not like,
yeah.
and probably a lot of people can probably figure out what that is without me even saying anything. But hey, pass me that magazine. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, man. Like I say, the guy deserves a second chance. He's a great actor. Like I say, I've enjoyed him in just about everything he's been in. So to hear him hinting at coming back, I'm down for it.
Yeah, so what we're talking about is he was recently interviewed at the Daytime Beauty Awards in Los Angeles, and Majors was asked about returning as Kang the Conqueror in the MCU. He actually avoided a direct yes or no when he was asked about the question, but he did say, I cannot say anything about that. It's a multiverse, so there's always that.
Mm,
So to me, that almost sounds like there's potential
yeah,
for him to return, especially if he says, I can't say anything about that
yeah.
because there was no direct yes, no, or in between. There was just like, I can't say any. And a lot of times when an actor says, I can't say anything about that, they've at least had some kind
Some
of
kind of
discussion.
talks, yeah.
Yeah.
And then to say something about the multiverse, meaning that in any world this could possibly happen.
Right.
Again, man, I wouldn't be mad at it. Kang the Conqueror is a great character, and he played a great character as Kang the Conqueror. So, I mean,
I think he was great. Now I will say this. I don't think I think Marvel would have had to shift either way
yeah,
from the character. And let me explain that a little bit because I think Marvel or the MCU failed Kang the Conqueror and how they brought the character in. Not
okay,
Jonathan
not
Majors.
Jonathan
It
Majors,
had
but
nothing to do with
how they
Jonathan Majors.
introduced the
How
character
they
to the
introduced the
story
character because one, they introduced the character in a TV
in a
series,
TV series.
which was Loki season one.
Yeah,
They introduced the character in Loki season one, and then at the end of that, I think he was called He Who Remains,
mm-hmm.
and he's killed by a side character in
True.
Loki.
Yeah,
Then the next time you see the character show up, he's in Ant-Man Quantumania. He loses to Ant-Man.
to Ant-Man.
To Ant-Man. He
Yeah,
loses. And we're supposed to take him as a threat to the Avengers who just took on Thanos.
yeah, I get you.
It was the way they set him
Yeah,
up. They failed the character of Kang. I don't think it was a Jonathan Majors problem. I mean, all the other issues and that, that's a whole nother situation. But in terms of the character of Kang, I think the MCU failed in developing that character to be a major threat or for the general audience to take him as a serious threat
to
for
take
the
okay.
Avengers. Because
So
if you can be defeated by Ant-Man, like how are we supposed to take you seriously against like Thor
yeah,
or the Hulk or Captain Marvel or somebody?
yeah, that's true.
Doctor
That's,
Strange. Like what are you gonna do?
yeah. So what do you think? How you think they're gonna rebrand him if he comes back?
Well, I
What
mean,
are they gonna do different?
well, one thing they did at the end of okay, so if you haven't seen it, I'm sorry, it's been out for over a year or so. But in Loki season two, they basically dealt with Kang in Loki season two. Like
Okay.
at the end, they like had got all the variants and all this kind of stuff. But in Ant-Man, at the end of like at the it was like one of the post-credit scenes, they had like the Council of Kangs,
Yeah.
which is like of like all the different variants of Kangs. So potentially like one of these variants is still out there. And they could bring him back for either if not in Doomsday, maybe for the Secret Wars Avengers
Mm.
film that's coming out because that I believe Secret Wars, they're dealing with a lot of the multiverse and the variants and all this, all those things, and they come together and they fight and all this
Yeah.
kind of stuff. But they could potentially bring him back in that way. But I don't think it was a Jonathan Majors problem. I think it was an MCU being able to make this character credible
Yeah.
to go against the Avengers.
Yeah. Because I mean, to go against, like you said, get defeated by Ant-Man and then by a secondary character as well, man. You know, it's crazy. It's funny. This is off the subject a little bit, but I was watching a movie the other day. I don't know why I wanted to go back and watch it, but I was feeling a little Chippendale-ish. So I went and watched Chippendale, the Rescue Rangers.
Mm-hmm.
And then I actually watched the movie, and Ant-Man was in the movie. And what's so funny about it, because
Paul Rudd.
Yeah, Paul Rudd.
Paul Rudd.
He was sitting there signing autographs, and he was like, the character wasn't originally called Ant-Man, it was called Ant-Man. So just to even think about
Wow.
being beat up or killed by somebody's auntie, as Kang the Conqueror getting killed by a person who should have been your auntie and not your aunt. But it's crazy.
It is crazy, man. I do feel that Jonathan Majors is a great talent.
He is.
Loved his work in Lovecraft Country.
Yes.
Was excellent in Creed 3.
Yes.
And a lot of the roles that he's been in, man, he's just always been a standout, man.
Oh, yeah.
So
I mean, I really enjoyed him, and I think the project was called Last Black Man in
San Francisco?
San Francisco.
Yeah.
That was a good movie, man.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed that project.
Yeah, he was good in that.
Yeah, he was good in that one.
Like I said, he's a major talent. I would love to see him make a comeback. If not in the MCU, at least in something.
Yeah.
But if I will say this, if the MCU can give this character a little bit of redemption, and bring him back, in a way where he is somewhat of a threat, I wouldn't mind that. Maybe not for a full film, but like in some portion of one of these 2 Avengers films that are getting ready to come out.
Yeah. So hey, we'll just have to see what they do if he comes back.
Yeah.
If he comes back.
Because you can be Kang the Conqueror one day, and then the next week they take your
Yeah.
But there's that. But what do you guys think, man? Are you excited about the potential of Jonathan Majors and Kang the Conqueror coming back to the MCU? Leave us your thoughts in the comments and let us know what you guys think.